You locked? All right. If you could, Shapar. But God will present thyself.
Pagaiwa, Bun Yashala. Pagaiwa, Bun Yahanna, Bun Yashala.
Pagaiwa, Bun Yahanna, Bun Yashala.
Yahaba Shem Yahusha Brakatha.
Yahaba Shem Yahusha Brakatha.
Go it again, Barbara.
Shalom.
Remember, this is going over there.
Layasharala.
Majim, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakufka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, the thunder now, the come, Cow, Yawam, Wasalaka now, Kabawaf now, Kasalak now, Kabawaf now, Wala'ah, Taba'ah now. Banasaya one, Abo, Hawashaya now, my young, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, Lawalumyum, Amun.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation. But deliver us
from evil.
From evil. For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it.
So be it. We're going to say Hakak the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Baba Kashab, the thunder now, Hakak, La Pa'al, Wakal Maka'al, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazariah, Hakak, La Hakim, Hamakim, Hakak, Al Kawaf, Hatama Allah, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, the water Amon.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say, bless Israel, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Barak Lanaw, Wayasha'ala, Wahabayah, Sapariah, Barak, Rapah, Magun, Hagun, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, the Wada Amon.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us. And Israel.
And the school.
Bless. Heal.
Shield.
Protect.
Our
loved ones.
In
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say Psalms 121. Sha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Hahariya. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. I.S.U.P.K. Shemaiah. Wa'aratazah. Al-Yatan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shemarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamah. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Hashemash. La'ah. Yakalka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashemarka. Makarai. Yashamar. Athnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'aka. Wabawa'aka. Ma'ita. Wa'ai awalam. The water amon.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes to the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
From all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say Psalms 83. Al-Ahayim. Al-Damaya Laka. Al-Takarash. Al-Tashakwat. Al-Kayahana. Al-Yabyaka. Yahanna Yawan. Wamanashanayaka. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Al-Aimaka. Ya'awa Yamwa. Sawab. Wayataya-Aitazawa. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amara. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magaya. Wala'ah. Yazakar. Sham Yashala. Iwa. Kaya. Nawa'aitazawa. La. Lakadwa. Al-Yakar. Baryaf. Yakarathwa. Ahalia. Adawam. Wayashama Alia. Mawa'aba. Wahagaya. Gabal. Wa'aimawa. Wa'aimalak. Palasha. Anyashabia. Tazawar. Gum Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zawawad. Labanya Lawat. Salah. Aisha Laham. Kamadi. Kasara Kayabyan. Banako. Kayashwan. Nashamadwa. By Yanda Ira. Hayawa. Daman. La'adama. Shayatumwa. Nadiyamu. Kaira. Because of Abba. Because of Bak. Because of Zalmanai. Kanasaya Kamwa. Ashar. Amaru. Nayarashah. Lanawa. Nawa. Alahaya. Shayatumwa. Kagaldala. Kakwash. Lapanya Rakwa. Ka'ash. Taba'ayya. Wakala Haba. Talahat. Haryam. Khan. Theradatma. Basa Iraka. Basa Wapaka. Tabahalam. Mala'ah. Panyaham. Kwalawam. Wayabakwashwa. Shamka. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Wayaba'alia. Idi. Wayakapawa. Wayabadwa. Where the Iowa?
Where the Iowa?
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ata. Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Yawan.
Al-Karatazah.
Al-Karatazah.
Tawada Amon.
Tawada.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
thy
thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
have lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
And consulted against thy hidden
They
one.
have said,
They have said,
Come, let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
May be no more remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
And
Moab.
Hagarenes.
And Hagarenes.
Gabal and Ammon.
Gabal and Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher is also joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to
Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin. At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zeeb.
And like Zeeb. Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As Sabbath.
As Zabah.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
Who
said,
Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The house of Yahweh in possession.
The houses of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as a flame sets the mountains on fire.
And as the flame sets the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
In trouble forever.
In trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
Whose name alone is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the Most High.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it. Saw, which means to turn. Yeshabin, which means to be seated.
Men up here, Yeshabin, which means to be seated. We're going to continue on where we left off last week, and that is Nehemiah 5 and 11 through 17. If you could, Baba Kashar, give me the first two verses.
Psalm Contra. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 11. Ha Shayabwa Na'a Laham Ka Hayawam Shadaf Yaham Karam Yaham Zayaf Yaham Wabaf Yaham Wama'ath Hakasap Wahadagan Hatta Yar Wash Wa Hayataza Har Ashar Atham Nashiyam Nashyam Baham, verse 12. Waya Amarwa Nashiyab Wama'ath. I was like, I'm on the same line.
Wamaham.
Yeah. Wamaham La'a Nabakwash Khan, Naisha, Ashar, Atha, Awamar, Wa'akara, Ath, Hakahunyam, Wa'ashab, Ya'ain, La'aisha Shawath, Kadabar, Hazaha.
How's that? I'm gonna continue on. Verse 13. Gum, Katazanya, Na'ai Rathaya, Wa Amara, Kaka, Yana Ha Alahayim, Af, Kal, Ha Ayash, Ashar, La'ah, Koyam, Af, Hadabar, Hazah, Maba Yath. It's like a Maba Yathwa. Wama, Yagad. It's like a Wama, Yagah, Yaiwa. Wa Kaka, Yahaya. Na'ai War. Wa Rarakwa. Waya Marwa. Kal. Hakahal. Mana. Waya Ha Lalawa. Ath Yahweh. Waya Aisha. Ha'aim. Kadabar Hazah. Verse 14. Gum. Mayawam Ashar. Tazawa. Athia. Laha Yawath. Pakam. Ba'aratza. Yahawada. Shanath. Isharyam. Wa'id. Shanath. Shalashim. Wa Shathayim. La'a Rathak. Slakia. La'a Rathak. Tha'a. Hamalak. Shunyam. Shathayim. Aishara. Aniya. Wa'akya. Lakam. Hapaka. La'a. Akalathia. Verse 15. Waha Pakawatha. Ashunyam. Ashar. Lapunya. Hakaba Yadawa. Al. Ha'aim. Waya Wayak Kwawa. Mahama. Mahama. Slakia. Maham. Balacham. Waya Yana. Akar. Kasap. Shakalyam. Arabayam. Gum. Na'ai Raham. Shalatwa. Al. Ha'aim. Wa Anya. La'a. Ashayathya. Kana. Slakia. Khan. Mapunya. Yara'ath. Alahayim. Verse 16. Wagum. Bama la'akath. Ha kawama. Haza'ath. Ha kazak thaya. Wa shada. La'a. Kwana yanwa. Wakal. Na'ai raya. Kwa bawa tazayim. Shum. Al. Hama la'aka. Verse 17. Waha Waha Yahawadayim, Waha Sagunyam, Ma'a, Waka Mashayim, Ayash, Waha Ba'a, Waha Slakia, Waha Ba'ayim, Al Yanawa, Al Yanwa, Mana, Hagawam, Slakia, Hagawayim, Ashar, Bayath, Slakia,
Sloppy said after the Shah.
Bayath, Yanawa, Al, Shalakniya. We're going to continue on. We're going to read this as our tradition. We first read it in the Hebrew, and then we read it in the English. We're going to read it in the English. Nehemiah 5:11 through 17.
Come. Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 11. Restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses. Also the 100th part of the money, and of the corn, the wine, and the oil, that ye exact of them. Verse 12. Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priest and took an oath of them that they should do according to this promise. Verse 13. Also I shook my lap and said, so God shake out every man from his house and from his labor that performeth he shaken out, and empty, and all the congregation said, Amen, and praised the Lord. And the people did according to this promise. Verse 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the
verse 13.
Verse 14. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year even unto the 30th year of Artaxerxes, the king, that is, 12 years, I and my brethren have not eaten the bread of the governor. Verse 15. But the former governors that had been before me were chargeable unto the people, and had been taken of them bread and wine, beside 40 shekels of silver. Yea, even their servants bear rule over the people, but so did not I, because of the fear of God. Verse 16. Yea, also I continued in the work of this wall, neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered thither unto the work. Verse 17. Moreover, there were at my table 150 of the Jews and rulers, beside those that came unto us from among the heathen that are about us.
We're going to continue up here. We're going to continue on Nehemiah 5:18 through 19, and then chapter 6, 1 through 5. If you could, Baba Shah, get 18 and 19.
Come. Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 18 in the Hebrew. Wa'arash, Hazahah, Wa'ashar, Slaki, Hazahah, Haya, Naisha, La Yawam, Akkad, Shawar, Akkad, Taza'ana, Shasha, Bara, Rawath, Wa Tazat, Rayum, Watazaparium, Na'ishawa, Laya, Wabayan, Aisharath, Yamayum, Yum Yum, Bakal, Yayun, Lahar Baha, Wa'ain, Zaha, Lakam, Hapaka,
Breathe.
Khan.
You breathe.
Slug.
Right.
La'a, Bakwash the Ya, Kaya, Kabada, Ha'ai Bada, Al, Ha'ain, Hazaha,
Huzzah.
Hazah. Verse 19. Ikara, Laya, Alahaya, Lot Tawaba, Kal, Ashar, Aishayathya, Al, Ha'ain, Hazah.
I'm gonna continue on. Nehemiah 6, 1 through 5. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. Wayahaya, Kashar, Nasha Ma'ai, La Sana Balat, Watawabya, Walla Gasham, Ha'ai Rabaya, Walla Yathar, Yaba Yanwa, Kaya, Ban Yathaya, Ban Yathya, Ath, Kawama, Wala'a, Nawathar, Baha, Paratza, Gum, Ide, Ha'itha, Haha Ya'a, Dalla Tha Watha, La'a, Ha'im, Dathaya, Basha'iriam. Verse 2, Salakia. Wayashalak, Sana Balat, Wagasham, Alya, La'amar, Laka, Wana Wa'ida, Yakadwa, Baka, Payarium, Baba Quaitha, Slakia, Wanawa, Hama, Kashabium, Slakia, La'ai Shawath, La'ya, Ra'ai. Verse 3, Shalak, Slakia, Shalaka, Al Yaham, Mala'akium, La'amar, Mala'aka, Gada Wallah, Aniyah, Aisha, Wala'a, Wakal, Radath, Lama, Tha Shabbath, Maha, La'aka, Ka'ashar, Arapa, Waya Radathia, Al Yakam. Verse 4, Waya Shalakwa, Al Ya, Kadabar, Hazah, Arabai, Pa'im Yum, Wa'ash Yaba, Awatham, Kadabar, Hazah. Verse 5, Waya Shalak, Al Ya, Sadna, son of Balat, Kadabar, Hazah, Pa'im, Kama Yashathya, Slakia, Kama Yash Yatha, Ath, Na'ira, Wa Agar Ratha, Patha Waka, Bayadwa. That's it.
It's like if I make that word you were saying Hazah in Lashon Kadar's class, it is Hazah, and I have a different definition written down for. I keep looking in the Bible. It keeps saying this people, but I have how words got different definitions for them, but that is pronounced Hazah. You know what I'm saying? We look it over later, but as far as I know, it's from class.
When I was doing it with General Q, who used to do the Lashon Kodash, he says whenever it's usually like that, the ha is left off.
Left side.
Yeah.
Come.
So that's that. I'm not saying what you're saying. What you're saying. You didn't get that from class. I got that from General Q.
Sorry, I learned that from you, but that'd be silent. I just happened to that one class he went over this word. You know what I mean? So I could be wrong, and now I've just mentioned it.
Okay.
Come.
Let's continue on in English.
Come. Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 18. Now that which was prepared for me daily was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep. Also fowls were prepared for me. And once in 10 days store all sorts of wine. Yet for all this required not I the bread of the governor, because the bondage was heavy upon this people. Verse 19. Think upon me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 1. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arabian and the rest of our enemies heard that I had builded the wall, and that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates. Verse 2. Then Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me mischief. Verse 3. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it, and come down to you? Verse 4. Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Verse 5. Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand.
Most High in Christ. With that, as the men up here alone, I say a margin, which means to stand. Young man, present thyself. Just come around over here. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stand at a Mayan Shabbat, which is with it, just like that, and say your name, your tribe, and then Israel. So it'll be your name, Bun, your tribe. What's your Bun Yahanna, Bun Yashala. You say your name.
Joseph.
Bun Yahanna.
Bun
Yahanna. Bun Yashala.
Bun Yashala.
Joseph. Bun Yahanna. Bun Yashala. And the reason why we do this is whenever someone presents themselves to Israel, you have to say your name, who's your father, which is your tribe, and your lineage. And if you don't, if you produce something that's not of Israel, there's a reason why we have these staffs up here. but that's the reason why. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come to I imagine was straight up like that. Put your hand up just like that. Instead of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
All right, most high Christ. Stay right there 1 second. Good read. All right, you can come on up. All right, mid up here, you're shopping, which means it's been seated. You can have a seat. What we're going to do is we're going to continue on in the Hebrew. We're going to get Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 6 through 12. You want to take the first two?
Come. Book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, verse 6.
It's like it's tradition. Do you know anything about Hebrew?
Not yet.
All right, no, not yet. I like that answer. I like that answer. Good to go. Let's move on.
I'll call the book of Nehemiah, chapter 6, verse 6. Katayab, Baha, Bagalium, Nashemai, well, Wagashamawa, Amar, Atha, Wahaya her, Waha, Yahawada, Yum, Kashabium, Lamara Wada, Al, Khan, Atha, Bawana, Haka Wama, Wa'ath, Hawa, Slaki, Wa'atha, Slaki, Hawa, Laham, Lamalak, Kadabarium, Ha'ala. Verse 7. Wagam. Naba ya Naba ya wa ayam.
Naba ya ayam.
Naba ya ayam. Her Ima das. Le qua ra'a. Alayak. Ba Yara Washalam. La Amar Malak. Ba Yahawada. Wa'itha. Yashemai. La Malak. Kadabarium. Ha'ala. Wa'itha. Laka. Wana wa'ai taza'a. Yakadwa.
I'm gonna continue on to verse 12. Shalaka. Al Yawa. La Mar. La Naha ya Slakia. Nahaya. Kadabarium. Alahai. Ha Allah. Ashar. Atha. Awamar. Kaya. Malabak. Atha. Bawa Da'am. Verse 9. Kaya. Kalam. Maya Maya Ra'ayim, our Thunwa, La Amar, Ya Yaparwa, Yad Slakia, Yadayahum, Mana, Hama La'aka, Wala'a, Tha'aisha, Wa'aitha, Kazak, Ath, Yadya, verse 10, Anya, Ba'athya, Bayath, Shama'aya, Bun, Delaya, Bun, Hama Slakia, Maha, Maha, Yatab Bala, Waha Wa'a, Aita's a war, Waya Amar, Nawa I, Al, Bayath, Ha'alahayim, Al, Thawak, Haha, Yakal, Wana Sagara, Dalath Watha, Haha Yakal, Kaya, Ba Ayam, Laha Baha Raka, Ragak, Walla Yalla, Ba'ayam, Laha Ragaka, verse 11, Wa Amara, Ha'ayash, Kama Ka Mawanya, Ya Barak, Wa Maya, Kamawanya, Ashar, Ya Ba'a, Al, Aha Yakal, Wakaya, La'a, Abba Wa'a, verse 12, Wa'ak Yara'a, Slakia, Wa'ak Yara, Wahana, La'a, Alahayam, Shalakwa, Kaya, Hana Ba'awa, Dabar, Al-Ya, Wata, Wabaya, Wasa Nabalat, Kasha Slakia, Shakarwa. That's it. We're gonna continue on. We're gonna read this in English, and that's Nehemiah for chapter 6 through 12. If you could, brother.
Nehemiah, verse 6.
No, we're in chapter 6 and verse 6. Yeah.
Wherein was written, it is reported among the heathen and Gashmu.
Gashmu.
Saith it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king according to these words. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah. And now shall it be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. Then I sent unto him, saying, there are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou findest them out of thine own heart. For they all made us afraid, saying, their hands shall be weakened from the work, that it be not done. Now therefore, O God, strengthen my hands. Afterwards I come into the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehetabel,
No sweat.
who was shut up, and he said, Let us meet together in the house of God within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee. Yeah,
Yeah.
yea. Select.
Mhm.
In the night will they come to slay thee.
Now, you see that is real important, because you see how the way we were back then, way back then, and you look at times in like Jim Crow era. Whenever there was trouble, where do we go? I mean, we thought it was the house of God. You know what I'm saying? We always went to the church, because that was it was sort of like encoded in our DNA. We wanted to go to where we thought was safe, but in reality, at that time, God wasn't in that house. It is what it is now, and it's it's the cat house. But in times past, whenever we got in trouble, we went to the Most High. We always went to the Most High to basically protect us, right? Let's keep going.
And I said, should such a man as I flee? And who is there that being as I am?
So you say, I ain't running. I ain't running from nobody. You know who we are? You know who he is? He's a man of God. He's a son of Yasha. He's a son of Israel, a prince of the power. I ain't running from nobody. Who am I to run? You had something? Israel, right? Exactly. I ain't running from no man, right? Keep going.
Will go into the temple to save his life. I will not go in. And lo, that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I perceived that God had not sent him, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me. For Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him.
Most High in Christ. Yeah.
Look, Mike, when you in this building right here, you can shout as loud as you want to. This is the one place where you can be as loud as you want to. Say it loud. Read that Bible.
Can you fix this right here? We're going to start at Nehemiah 6:20. If you could, Baba Kashar. Wait, hold on. No, we stopped at 12. That's my fault. Okay, we stopped at 12. I was looking at the other one. Okay, we're going to keep on going. Nehemiah 6:13 through 19. Lama aina shakawar hawa'a lama aina ayan ya yara'a wa'a aisha khan waka ta'afia wahaya laham lasham ra'ai lama aina ya karap wanaya. Verse 14. Zakara alahaya la tawabya wala son balat kashamai shayawa kama I shayawa Allah wagam lana wa I deya hana ba'aya slakia hana baya'a wala yathar hana ba ya'ayam ashar hayawa maya ra'ayam wathya. Verse 15. Watha shalom ha kawama ba'ai sharyam waka masha la'a lawal la kamasham wa shanyam yawam. Verse 16. Wa yahaya ka ashar Shemaiwa, Cal, Awa Yab Yanawa, Waya Ra'awa, Cal, Hagawayim, Ashar, Sabah Yabath Yanawa, Waya Power, Ma'ad, Ba'ai Yan Yaham, Waya Da'ai, it's like it, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya, Ma'ath, Alahai Yanawa, Na'ai Shatha, Ha Mala'aka, Ha Za'ath, verse 6, verse 17, Gum, by Yum Yum, Haham, Marabayim, Karaya, Yahawada, Aga Rathayaham, Ha Walak Watha, Al, Tawabya, Wa Ashar, La Tawabya, Ba'awath, Alahayim, verse 18, Kaya, Rabayim, Ba Yahawada, La Slakia, Ba'alia, Shawa Ba'ai, Lawa, Kaya, Kathan, Hawa'a, La Shakanya, Bun, Arak, Waya Ha, Wakana, Bunwa, Laquak, Ath, Bath, Mashalam, Bun, Rakaya. Verse 19, Gum, Tawab, Thayawa, Hayawa, Amarayim, Lapanya, Wa Dabarya, Hayawa, Mawa Tazayayim, Lawa, Agara Agar Watha, Shalak, Tawabya, Laya Slakia, Laya Ra'anya. That's it. We're going to continue on in the English. We're going to get Nehemiah chapter 6, 13 through 19.
Therefore he was hired that I should be afraid and do so and sin, and that they might have matter for an evil report, that they will reapproach me. My God, think thou upon Tobiah and Sanballat, according to these works, and on the prophetess.
Noah Bida.
Noah
Slakia. Noah Dia.
And the rest of the prophets that would have put me in fear. So the wall was finished in the 25th day of the month, Elul, and 52 days. And it come to pass that when all of our enemies heard therefore, and all the heathen
heard thereof,
and they were about us saw these things, they were much cast down in their own eyes, for they perceived that this work was wrought out of God.
Wrought of our God. So basically, they're saying once the heathens actually seen this, they couldn't believe their eyes. They couldn't believe that such work can come from these lowly stinking niggas and spicks and savages. They thought it was from God. Well, it really was from God. Why? Because we're God's chosen people. We can take a bunch of nothing and make it incredible. Look at oxtails. You know what I'm saying? It was a point in time where the oppressor absolutely hated oxtails, or they threw. Because I remember I went to a butcher, because you can only get it at a butcher, and they were telling me that it was a time where whenever they would come in, people would come in and get some type of meat, they would just give it away. Now, since we, especially the tribe of Benjamin, since Benjamin really, put they stamp on it, everybody wants it. Now it's a delicacy. Now that thing that the oppressor was giving away is selling for $30 a pound. And I ain't lying. You look at these prices, it's ridiculous. Some damn oxtails, man. I'm mad because I love me some oxtails. but look at all of our stuff. We take a bunch of nothing and turn it into this. You know what I'm saying? He can't go anywhere without be getting approached by all the gloriousness he has. And this is like the second or third creation that you made.
Like third or fourth.
Yeah. And he's new at this. And he got this like this. Come on, man. You got something?
No, it's something that you said it because I just seen the video. It was some grandfather, I think it was a Simeon that went to pick up his kid or his grandson in a couch, but he turned it into a car. It's a straight couch.
Yeah.
Man, the imagination of Israel, we take a bunch of nothing and turn it into something that these oppressors, exploit off of it. You know what I'm saying? And every little thing that we do, every little scraps that we have and we create and make something of it, they try and duplicate it and it's just trash.
Right. It's like in the ad, not only do we out of nothing make the best things, we come out of nothing with the worst resources of everybody in the planet on the bottom, and we produce the greatest people, the greatest entertainers, the greatest athletes, the greatest minds,
the greatest scientists. Exactly. And if anybody's seen the movie Hidden Figures, I don't know if anybody really has been in that, not just specifically in that, but in the world where information is like being withheld. But you have to have certain clearances to look at certain things, and just her experience being there, sending the oppressor to the moon with information that she had to figure out because it was held back from her. Right. When you had a team of white men, oppressors, Esau, who couldn't do what she did with all the information that they held back from her, so she had to figure it out and start from scratch. And then send these oppressors to the moon. Speaking of starting using nothing and getting these oppressors to the moon, you know how hard that is. You know what I'm saying? Try making anything. Try baking a cake, and you have a recipe. 10 items long, and 8.5 of them are blocked out. Now you have to duplicate it, and if you don't do it, you in trouble. You're a detriment to your race. Now, we take those 1.5 recipe, and then we make something even better than what these oppressors had. You don't believe me? Ask his grandmother. Let's keep going. Where are we? We're still reading in English?
What do you mean?
Yeah. Let's keep going.
We on 17?
Were we on 17?
We on 17, sir.
Yeah. All right, let's go. 17, Baba Shah.
Go, sir. Moreover, in those days, the nobles of Judah sent many letters unto Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came unto them. For there were many in Judah sworn unto him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Arah, and his son Yahanna had taken the daughter of Meshullam, and the son of Berechiah. Also they reported his good deeds before me, and uttered my words to him.
Take that chair.
Yeah. And Tobias sent letters to put me in fear.
Most High in Christ. So, like, if you could read that last verse 19 one more time, Baba Kashar.
Come on, sir. Also, they reported his good deeds before me, and uttered my words to him. And Tobias sent letters to put me in fear.
So now they're trying to, put fear into the brother. After all the good deeds that he's done, they're trying to, throw some salt on his name, throw some dirt on his name. When really, what can you do?
Right.
What can you do? This brother is doing good work. No matter how good we do, there's always going to be some oppressors trying to, throw some dirt on us and sully our names. And as they're doing it, they're going to try to take the credit for all the stuff that we did.
Right.
You got some?
Come, sir. But it was in retrospect of man joining Yahanna,
Mm-hmm.
because of all the good deeds that he do, a lot of people still try to throw dirt on his name.
They try and as they might, every time they try and throw dirt on Commander Johnny Ha's name, he proves them wrong. The Most High proves them wrong. They say we a bunch of thugs. We don't get arrested. They say we beat our women, but there's women that beat down our doors, and will tell you whatever you heard is a bunch of lies. You know what I'm saying? They say we're brainwashed and we can't think for ourselves. According to the Bible, we're supposed to be one body. Right. If anybody in the world or in here has a limb that's doing something totally independent of what you're telling it to do, you go into the doctor because there's something wrong. But yet in here, when we're doing everything in synchronous and in order, something's wrong with us. But you're out there saying, little boys are girls and little girls are boys. Right. And we're wrong? You serious? Well, I'll be wrong all day long. If that's wrong, I don't. What did the singer say? No, I ain't gonna say that. No. That's wrong. That's wrong. But you got something?
Two things right quick. It call me brainwashed because my brain has been cleaned.
Right.
You know
exactly.
What I mean? But when it comes to Commander Junior Yahanna, you'll notice whenever we do something under him that should give honor to his name, they never say anything. But the moment some fake camp does something, they call him. You know what I mean? Because he is the leader of Israel.
They do that, and when no one's looking, they call him. Yeah. They whenever they need some help and they call Commander Johnny Yahanna, they don't never put that out there.
Yeah, it's like I'm talking about, like when a fake camp does something wrong to draw attention in the media.
You're right.
The media calls Commander Junior Yahanna because he's the leader of Israel, but he had to let them know like that wasn't us.
Yeah,
they're not under me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Quick to call them then.
Point in case, the crazy man that went out and started shooting them the Amalekites out in Jersey City. They went straight for us. They told the world, hey, it's the I.S.U.P.K that did that. And then when it came to Commander General Yahanna, it was like, no, it's not. That's not it. He had to do a whole series of interviews there, and they had to print a retraction saying, no, we were wrong. It was some other group. You're absolutely right. Whenever we're out there feeding the homeless, whenever we're out there clothing the homeless, taking care of the sick and the elderly, cleaning up the prison system, whenever we're doing that, our names are nowhere to be found in the media. You know what I'm saying? Be pushed out to the world, except if it's for us. But the moment someone shoots a tranny in the face, the moment someone goes off and kills a bunch of Edomites, they want to say that's us. They want to say that we do it.
Right.
There's a reason why at the beginning of every speaking, at the beginning of every class, we say we are not affiliated with anybody else.
Yeah, right.
We are the home of the truth. It's because of that. They have no discipline. They have no order. They have no militancy about them. They cannot humble themselves down and take orders from the true man of God. And when you don't do that, you end up in some groups that does some of these heinous things.
Or get beat up by churches.
And then brag about it. And then brag about why you bragging, man? And with that, men up here, I say, I imagine, which means you stand. Mataya, present thyself. You beat up by church.
Ataya, ban banyanyan, ban yashala.
Mataya, ban banyanyan, ban yashala.
Yaba Shem Yahshua Brakatan.
Yahba Shem Yahshua Brakatan.
Good reading, brother. You can step on down right over here. All right. Come on up. And if you didn't know, the way it's supposed to be done is hold on. The way it's supposed to be done, pass that over to Pagabo, is whenever there's supposed to be 3 brothers up here at a time. If once the brother comes exit off the podium, the stage, that's when another brother's allowed to come up. In times past, when I say in times past, I'm talking about in the scripture. If that order was not given, the Most High stepped in, and we all know how the Most High steps in. All right. With that, I say Yeshabium, which means be seated. Yes. Salakia, if you're not understanding what I'm saying yes to, the sister is right on time. Every time brings in lovely food. The water. I appreciate it. Let's give the sisters a hand. We're gonna start at Nehemiah chapter 7, verse 1. If you could, you want to take the first one?
Come.
All right, take the first one, and Shapat take the next 2. Baba Show.
Come.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 1. Wayahaya, Ka-ashar, Nabanatai, Salaki, Nabanata, Haka, Wayam, Wama, I'm Yada. I'm Yada. Hadala Tawata. The Wath. Waya Pakwa the Wa. Ha Shawa IR Slaki. Ha Shawa I Aryam Waha Mashar Rayam Waha Lawayam
Most High.
Ayam.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 2. Wa'ataza wa Ath Kananya Akaya Wa'ath Kananya Shar Habayara Il Yara Shalom Kaya Hawa Kayash Amath Hayara Ath
Hala Ha Alahayim. Ha Salaki. Ha come. Salaki. Marabium. Marabium. Verse 3. Why ma laham la'a yapa kawa yapathakwa. Come. Why ya Sha'ira Salaki. Yarar Shalom. I Kad Hashemash Wa'ai Ham I Magyam Yaga Yaga power. How the last was. How the last the was. Wa'a Kazawa. Waha I'm a yard. Masha Marwath. Washa Bad Slavi. Washabia. Yeshabia Slavi. Yara Washalam. Ayash. Bama Mashamar what? Ayash. Nagad. Bayathwa.
I'm gonna continue on. Verse 4. Wa ha'ayar Ra Kabath Yadiam Wa God Wallah Wa ha'aim Ma'aita Bath Waka Wa ayan Bathyam Banawayam Slakia Ban Wayam. Verse 5. Wayathan Alahaya Al Labaya Wa'ak Wa Akaba Tazah Ath Hakarayam Wa'ath Ha Saganyam Wa'ath Ha'aim Laha Thayak Slakia Waha Thaya Kasha Wa'a Matazah Slakia Wa'a Matazah Sapar Ha Yakash Wa'ai Slakia Ha'ai Walam Ba Arash Wana Wa'ama Taza'ah Kathawab Bawa. Verse 6. Allah Banya Hamad Yana Ha'al Yam Mashabwa Slakia Mashabya Haga Wallah Ashar Hagalah Naba wa Naba Wakad Natazar Malak Babal Wayash Wabawa Laya Rashalam Wala Yahawada Ayash La'ai Yarwa. Verse 7. Haba Ayam Aim Zara Babal Shawai Naka Yama Slakia Naka Maya Slakia Izariah Ra'ai Maya Naka Manaya Ma Radakia Bala Lashan Ma Saparath but Bagawaya, Nakawam, Ba'ina, Masapar, Nashia, I'm Yasha'Allah. We're going to continue on in English, Nehemiah 7, 1 through 7.
Come on. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 1. Now it came to pass when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the porters, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed.
No, he said he built the walls and he set up the doors. He set up what was called shamar. He set up security that to be at the doors. Not what these Christian churches have you believe, these halfway effeminate men's and women's that be in there.
Slakia, sir, if I may, and they and they had swords, not white gloves.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they had. Why do they have that? Just in case if someone wasn't supposed to be there. They're protecting. Just if the church was set up the way the Bible actually said it, we wouldn't have a Dylan Roof storm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't invite somebody in there to pray with them and then kill them.
It's like he got a pat down.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Like, nah, brother, you're gonna have to take that to your vehicle. If it was set up like One West, we'd be like, yeah, how may I help you? Yeah, no, we closed. You can't come in here. There wouldn't be no pat down. It wouldn't have been nothing like that.
Yeah, you're right.
It wouldn't have been nothing like that. If you need something, there's a church right down the block. So, a Catholic church right over there. You know what I'm saying? You can go over there. You can't come in here. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 2, that I have gave my brother Hanani and Hananiah, the ruler of the palace, charge over Jerusalem, for he was a faithful man and feared God above many. Verse 3, and I said unto them, let not the gates of Jerusalem be open until the sun be hot. And while they stand by, let them shut the doors and bar them, and appoint watches of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, everyone in his watch, and everyone to be over against his house. Verse 4, now the city was large and great, but the people were few therein, and the houses were not builded. Verse 5, and my God put into me, Salaki, and my God put into my heart to gather together the nobles and the rulers and the people, that they might be reckoning by genealogy. And I found a register of the genealogy of them which came up at the first, and found written therein.
It's like one more.
Come. Verse 6. These are the children of the province that went up out of the captivity of those that had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away, and came again to Jerusalem and to Judah, everyone unto his city.
So right here, it's telling that they found great men, nobles, and rulers, but they also linked them to who they were according to the genealogy, and they found that these men were of Israel. Just like we say every all the time, in the prayers, in the curses, unlike the riches of the rich of Israel, and to give to the school. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is showing you that we're not letting anybody in, no matter how noble, how rich they are, or how much wealth they are, or lands that they rule. Doesn't matter. If they wasn't Israel, they would have, all right, well, you can go on your way. We don't want nothing to do with you. And this is exactly how the UPK operates. Everything we say this all the time. Everything we do is according to the Bible.
Right.
Everything that we do, everything we say, every way that we operate is according to the Bible. You can't say that about any other church or any other fake camp out there. Because the church right now tells you that tithing is wrong.
Right.
Pay your tithes to Commander General Yahanna.
That's right.
If you can hear me, pay your tithes to Commander General Yahanna. That's it. And some burdens might be lifted from you, but that's according to the Most High. If He wants to do it, then He'll do it. If not, pay your tithes. Keep going.
Come. Verse 7. Who came to Zerubbabel, Joshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Ramiah, Nahamani, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mespereth, Big
Vi.
Big Vi.
Big
Big Vi.
Big Vi.
Down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Big Vi, Nehum, Bana. The number, I say, of the men of the people of Israel was this.
No sign Christ. Let's continue on. We're going to read Nehemiah 7, 8 through 14. You can get this. Let's see. Verse 8. Banya, Paraaisha, Alapium, Ma'ah, Washabaayim, Washunyam. Verse 9. Banya. You got some?
Nah, I was posing for the word.
Okay.
What name?
Verse 9. Banya, Shapatya, Shalash, Ma'awath, Shabaayim, Washunyam. Verse 10. Banya, Arak, Shasha, Ma'awath. Hey, Kagar. Salakia. What am I at? Verse 10?
Come.
Verse 10. Banya, Arak, Shasha, Ma'awath, Mashayim, Kaslakia, Kamashim, Washunyam. Verse 11. Banya, Pakath, Ma'wa'aba, Labanya, Slakia, Yashawai, Wa'aba, Alapium, Shamana, Ma'awath, Shamana, Ishara. Verse 12. Banya, Ayalam, Alap, Ma'athayim, Ma'athium, Kamashim, sorry, it might be a package. Rabai. Verse 13. Banya, Thawa'ah, Shamana, Ma'awatha, Araba'ayim, Waka Mashap, Slakia, Waka Shama. Verse 14. Banya, Zakaya, Shaba'ai, Ma'awath. Salakia. with Shashim. Continue on. Nehemiah 7, 8 through 14.
Khan. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 8. The children of Parash, 2,172.
Man, you had a bunch of kids.
Mhm.
You think you had that from one woman?
Right.
I'm just saying. Let's keep going.
Khan. Verse 9. The children of Shephatiah, 372. Verse 10. The children of Ariah.
Now, hold on, Slacky. I just want you to just as he's reading these, these houses, these noble houses. Just remember how the Most High told Abraham, Israel's gonna be so vast that it's gonna be like the sands of the sea. Just saying, if you go to the beach and you come home, the whole week, maybe another 2, you're finding sand everywhere. This is how we did it.
Not abortion.
Exactly. Not abortion. Let's give it a better hand. Not abortion. We kept them babies. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 10. The children of Ariah, 652. Verse 11. The children of Pahathamoab. The children of Jeshua and Jacob. Salaki and Joab. 2,818. Verse 12. The children of Elam, 1,254. Verse 13. The children of Zetu, 845. Verse 14. The children of Zakai, 703 scores.
Now we kind of cringe or gasp at people who have 4 or 5 kids. That's what we like. Oh, 4 and 5 kids,
right?
6 kids and 7 kids. Man, look at this family. You serious?
Right.
Man, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. That ain't easy. That ain't easy. I'm just telling you. Let's continue on with Nehemiah 7, 15 through 21. Any brother want to take this?
15.
Let's you do the first 2, and then Shapat, close it out if you could, Baba Shaw.
Come. Here we go. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 15. Bunya. Bun Nawa Bun Waya. Shasha. Ma'awath. Arabayam.
Remember these numbers.
Come.
You might need them.
Come. Wa shamna. Wa shamana. Verse 16. Bunya. Babaya. Shasha. Ma'awata. Ma'awath. Keep saying. Ma'awath. Asharium. Wa shamana.
Oh, sorry, Christ. That's it. 16. Yeah. If you could.
Come. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 7. Verse 7 was 16.
17.
Verse 17. Bunya, Isaac God, Alapium, Shalom, Shalash, my Wath, Ma'awath, Asharian, Washanyam. Verse 18, Banya, Adana, Ya Quam, Shasha, Ma'awath, Shashayim, Washabai. Verse 19, Banya, Bagawaya, Alawapyum, Alapyum, Shashayam, Washabai. Verse 20, Banya, Ariyam, Shasha, Ma'awath, Kamashim, Wakamasha. Verse 21, Banya, Atar, Lakazakya, the Shayim, Washamana.
All right, if we could continue on in English. Nehemiah 7:15 through 21.
Come. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, verse 15. The children of Benani, 648. Verse 16. The children of Bebai, 628. Verse 17. The children of Asgad, 2,322. Verse 18.
Now, Slack, if I could, with all these kids, all these members of this house, you know what I'm saying? There was no not claiming of children. If anything, we trying to claim as many as we can with these numbers, and on top of that, we're making sure there really was no question of paternity. You know what I'm saying? If your rib says you're pregnant, she's pregnant, you know it's yours. There was no question of, well, I don't know, you've been going out, you've been, your best friend's been calling your phone, you got a house, a work husband. Nah, there was none of that. There was none of that in this kingdom.
Right.
If they said you had 648 chillings, you had 648 chillings. You put in the work for that. Slacker, let's keep going.
Come. Verse 18. The children of Adonicum, 603 score and 7.
Verse with your chest.
Come. Verse 19. The children of Big Vi, 2,003 score and 7.
Reason why he has his name Big Vi. Slide. Keep going.
Verse 20. The children of Iden, 655. Verse 21. The children of Atir of Hezekiah, 98.
Most High in Christ. You got some?
If I may, then we might have a big vibe in the school named Shamgar.
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 Yeah. You got some, Shabbat?
Sloggy. It's this movie, y'all. I forgot what it's called, but the guy from the Wedding Crashers, the tall one. He was a sperm donor.
Yeah.
And he fathered 500 kids. Big Vi has 2,000 kids that he claimed that he made himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Most High, Christ.
And there was a story, I want to say it was out in Ohio, somewhere in the Midwest, where it was this Edomite who worked at he was a doctor, and it was like a sperm bank or something like that. And these couples and these women were coming into to basically get pregnant, and he was providing the women with all of his samples, and he had like half the town. Half the town was his offspring, and including with peoples that was spread throughout the country. That's Esau. There is no way in the world that he could, father as many children as that without some sort of deception.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Israel, on the other hand. Anybody have any questions before I close out? And with that, men up here alone, I imagine you have
like, man, can I get a precept?
Let's go.
Okay, calm, sir. Grab it right quick because this is in the scripture how we do it. Okay. The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as Egyptian women, for they are lively.
Right. Damn right.
And are delivered ere the midwives come in on to them.
Exactly. There is a difference between just like the Most High said, you put it in the scriptures as well. There's a difference that you put between the Egyptians and Israel.
Right.
It says it right there as well. That's another precept from Israel to these stinking Hamites. There's a reason why we call them stinking Hamites. There is a very big difference. Our women are lively. And when we say lively, it's not just spiritually, but we produce a lot of damn kids. that has everything to do with the Most High. Look at Sarah, Abraham's wife. She was barren her whole life and gave birth in her old age without in vitro fertilization, without all these medical inventions and pills and potions and all that stuff. It's just good old fashioned work.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you had another. No.
Lies.
All right. Anybody have any questions? No. With that, mid up here, I say Imagine, which means to stand. If you clear your pot.
La Yashala.
Imagine, which means to stand. Wapaya, Hapudam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kadash. I.S.U.P.K. Yahweh. Malakufka. Sabbath. Ratazayika. I.S.U.P.K. Kawa. Haya. Bashemayim. The thunder now. Lakam. Cow. Yawam. Wasalak now. Kabawaf now. Kasalak now. Kabawaf now. Wala'ah. Taba'aya now. Wanasayawam. Abo. Hawashaya now. Maya. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahtapar. La Wilamium. Aman.
Our Father, which art in heaven,
Hallowed
be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Our
daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
into temptation.
temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it. We will say Hakak the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Hashem.
By I.S.U.P.K.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahushua.
Baba Kashab.
Baba Kashab.
The thunder now.
The thunder now.
Hakak.
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 Yahweh Pa'ah.
La'apa'ah.
Kamakah.
Ka'ama'ah.
Wakamarawah.
Ka'ama'ah.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahah.
Latahah.
Hamatazariah.
Hamatazariah.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahaku.
Lahaku.
Hamaku.
Hamaku.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Al-Kawa.
Al-Kawa.
Hamatala. Hatama Allah.
Hatama.
The God Shun.
God Shun.
By Hashem.
By I.S.U.P.K.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahushua.
The Wad Amah.
The Wad Amah.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We'll say, bless Israel, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Hashem.
By I.S.U.P.K.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahushua.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasha'ala.
Wayasha'ala.
Wahaba Yah.
Wahaba Yah.
Sapaya.
Sapaya.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Magun.
By Hashem.
By I.S.U.P.K.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahushua.
The Wad Amah.
The Wad Amah.
And in English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
Our loved ones.
Our loved ones.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say Psalms 121. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayunyan.
Ayunyan.
Ahahaya.
Ahahaya.
Ma'ayam.
Ma'ayam.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Asha.
I.S.U.P.K.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Wa'aratasa.
Wa'aratasa.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamaka.
Shamaka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamah.
Shawamah.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shemaka.
Shemaka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Zalka.
Al-Yah.
Al-Yah.
Yumyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashemash.
Ashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakalka.
Yakalka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashemaka.
Yashamaka.
Makal Ra.
Makal Ra.
Yashema.
Yashama.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashema.
Yashama.
Taza'aka.
Taza'aka.
Waba Wa'aka.
Waba Wa'aka.
Ma'itha.
Ma'itha.
Wa'ai Ba'ulam.
Wa'ai Ba'ulam.
The Wad Amah.
The Wad Amah.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
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 He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
From all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. We'll say Psalms 83. Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Adamai Laka.
Adamai Laka.
Atakarash.
Atakarash.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
Wa'al Tashakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabika.
Awayabika.
Yahama Yawa.
Yahama Yawan.
Wamanashnayaka.
Wamashanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'aiwa Yamwa.
Wa'al Yamwa.
Sawat.
Sawat.
Wayataya Aitazawa.
Wayataya Aitazawa.
Al Tazapawanyaka.
Outside of Pawanyaka.
Amaru.
Amaru.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakina.
Wanakakina.
Magaya.
Magalia.
Wala'a.
Wala'ah.
Yazaka.
Yazakar.
Shamyashal.
Shamyashal.
Aiwa.
Iwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Noah Aitazawa.
No Aitazawa.
La.
La.
Yakagwa.
Yakawa.
Al Yaka.
Ayaka.
Bayaf.
Fire.
Yakarathwa.
Yakaraka.
Ahalia.
Ahai.
Adawam.
Alawam.
Wayashama Alia.
Wayashamaya.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagaya.
Wahagari.
Gabor.
Gabor.
Wa'aimawa.
Wa'anawan.
Wa'aimalak.
Wa'analak.
Halashah.
Halashat.
I'm Yeshabia.
I'm Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gawashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zawawai.
Sarawai.
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Wat.
Salah,
Salah.
Aisha,
Aisha.
Aisha Laham,
Aisha.
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan.
Kasarasar Ah,
Kasar Sarah.
Kayabyan,
Kayabi.
Banako,
Banako.
Kayashwan,
Kayashua.
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadu.
Bayanda Ira,
Bayan Ira.
Hayawa,
Hayawa.
Daman,
Daman.
La Adama,
Adama.
Shayathumwa,
Shayatama.
Nadiyamu,
Nadiyabu.
Kaira,
Kaira.
because of Abba,
Because of Abba.
because of Bak,
Because of Bak.
because of Zamana,
Because of Zamanah.
Kamasaya Kamwa,
Hadasai Kamwa.
Ashar,
Ashar.
Amaru,
Amaru.
Naya Rasha,
Naya Rasha.
Lanawa,
Lanawa.
Ah,
Ah.
Nawa,
Nawa.
Alahayim,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Alahaya.
Shayathumwa,
Shayatama.
Kagalgala,
Kagala.
Kakwash,
Kakwash.
Lapanya Rakwa,
The point of request.
Kaash,
Ka'ash.
Dabaya Yaira,
The Ira Ira.
Wakala Haba,
Wakala Haba.
Dalahat,
Salahat.
Hayam,
Ariam.
Khan,
Khan.
Dadatma,
Daradatma.
Basa Irika,
Basa Ira.
Wabasa Wapaka,
Wabasa Wapaka.
Dabahalam,
Tabahalam.
Mala'a,
Mala'ah.
Panyaham,
Payaham.
Kuala Wam,
Walawam.
Waya Bakwasha,
Wayabakwash.
Shamka,
Shamka.
Yahawa,
Yahawah.
Yabashra,
Yabash.
Waya Ba'ali,
Wayaba'awah.
Aya,
Ai.
Waya Kapara,
Wayakapara.
Waya Badwa,
Wayabab.
Waya Da'aiwa,
Wayadaira.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Aita,
Ata.
Shamka,
Shamka.
Yahawa,
Yahawah.
Nabaka,
Labak.
Ayanawam,
Ayawam.
Ayawam,
Ayawam.
Alka Rataza,
Rataza.
Tawada Aman,
Lualaman.
In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
keep not thy silence, O Yahweh,
Hold not thy peace.
hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For
for lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult,
And they that hate thee.
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people,
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off.
Let
us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
In the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
May be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together.
But they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom,
And the Ishmaelites.
and the Ishmaelites,
Moab.
Moab,
Hagarim.
Hagarim,
Gabal and Ammon.
Gabal and Ammon,
And Amalek.
Amalek,
The Philistines.
the Philistines,
The inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher is also joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like the ebb.
And like the ebb.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zabah.
As Zabah.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
Who said.
Who said,
Let us take to ourselves.
let us take to
The
ourselves
house of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the
As
wind.
the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the
And
wood.
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
And as the flame set up the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute
With
them
thy tempest.
with thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
In trouble forever.
In trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it. We want to say the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Bataza Bayah.
Bataza Bayah.
Alawap Yahanna.
Alawap Yahanna.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Saranyim.
Ha Saranyim.
Ha Quataz Yanyim.
Ha Quatas Yanyim.
Ha Ka Yoyim.
Ha Kayayamim.
Wa Ha Quatim.
Wa Ha Quatim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Tawada Aman.
Tawada Aman.
In English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Commanding General Yahanna.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say the curses. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and
And
earth.
all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasures of the rich of Israel.
The treasures of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
And evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Posse
Comitatus.
Gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force.
Marines.
Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. The cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit. Of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction. To all the heathen. That stand in the way. Try and stop us. From broadcasting your word. Throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go. To and fro. Through the earth. And consume them. Let the plagues. Shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucer. And punish all the heathen. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known. By all. That it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread. Through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy covenant. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always. So be it.
So be it. Saw, which means to turn. Sisters, you may be seated. Men of Israel, gird thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brak Yah. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brak Yah.
You can come step on out. We're gonna do Mayim Shabbat. Like this. Step up a little closer. Yeah. Now Mayim straight behind. Right. And then smite the scroll and say Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakiyah. Come back like this. What you just said is Yahweh in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, bless me. That's it. We'll come back over.
Men of Israel, we'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Madim Shabbat, Imadim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatah,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakathum.
Yad Yamatah, Saw, which means to turn. Sisters, you may stand, Imadim. Men of Israel.
No, you can face this. And put your hand right here. Was it right hand on top? Is it right hand on top, just like that?
Men of Israel, Imadim Shabbat, Imadim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatah Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Yad Yamatah, class dismissed.